Hey guys, Jamie here, keeping it koi. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, welcome. Hope to earn your subscription today. So today we're going to find out if the Beech Airlayer has been successful. Now I have done a video that's coming out in a week or two about some oase airlayers and a juniper airlayer, but I was told by some people in the bonsai community that a beech area can't and won't work. So I'm going to go and cut it off the tree, I'm going to bring it back, and we're going to have a look together. So there's the beech. I've just chopped it off. Just got to do a bit of work with the stump on that one and get that all how I want it, but it's looking promising. Now it's not as good as I was hoping, but from what I can gather, it has worked. So without further ado, let me grab the air layer. Not that you can see my face, there we go. I'll grab the air layer and show you. So here it is. Tree's a bit cobwebby at the minute. I haven't got round to cleaning it all off, but I've just removed the wire in the bag. As you can clearly see, there are some, not many, but some roots in there. There's another one hiding, if I can get my tree in focus. Yeah, there's some more hiding under there. Look, two big ones around that side, maybe three. Two big ones around that side, maybe three. So yeah, it has been kind of successful. Nowhere near as good as what the oases and junipers were, but they are really easy to airlayer. So to the people in the bonsai community that said you can't airlayer a beech, I'm afraid you can. Now there's not enough roots there to support this massive tree, so I am going to need to take some of the branches off this, but I'm going to go get some water to keep this moist, because if the roots dry out they will die, and then get to do some work on it. Right then guys, the temperature is just starting to warm up in the garden. It's mid to late morning, so we need to keep these roots moist while we're doing this, but all you need is a little spray bottle full of some water. It just gives you more time while doing it, but as you can see there are some roots dotted about, so what I'm going to try and do is remove some, not all, but some of this sphagnum moss without damaging hopefully any of the roots. I should have broke this moss up a bit better, to be honest. But if I can just take some off without damaging the roots, I'll find it a lot easier potting it up. So you can see what I'm doing. I've got my bonsai tweezers out. I'm literally just loosening it and trying to take it off. So I'm going to tickle this for a little while and get some of this off. As I say, if you're doing this at home, make sure you have a spray bottle to keep it all nice and moist while you're doing it. So yeah, I've got off as much as I'm going to take off. Unfortunately, I have managed to pull off one little root. Note to self, when using sphagnum moss, break it up a bit more than I did. The more the sphagnum moss is broken up, the less obviously it can tangle into stuff, and the easier it is to remove if you need to. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to re-grab my saw, chop a bit more of this stump back, now I've got a bit more access to it, and then we'll have a quick look at it before I get it in a pot. So here we are. I've literally only removed an extra inch from the bottom. It's just so I can fit it in the pot better. When it gets more established, obviously I can work on the roots and the root ball later on, but I didn't damage any more in there, and there are a fair few roots. I don't know how many you can see there, but yeah, there are more roots than I first thought there is, so I think this will be okay if I remove a couple of the branches. We've got a couple of months of root growing before winter kicks in, so yeah, hopefully this will be alright. But that, I'm using the big pot you see here below me to give it plenty of room to grow. So I'm going to take a couple of the branches off now so I can pot it up a bit easier, and then we'll do some more work on it. So yeah, let's remove the branches that were in the way of potting it up. So I'm going to get some soil in the bucket. Soil's a bit dry at the minute. watering quite quickly. Say in the bucket, it's a flower pot obviously. Make sure I've got a nice bed for it to go into. And then we'll stand it up. I'll probably wire this in from the top because there's not anywhere or any roots to wire it in from at the bottom, but you're not going to see this bit very well, so what I'll do, I'll get this in the pot and I'll snap back to you. And there you go, it's just had its first water, that's just draining away, but you can see it's wired around the trunk. This branch is wired to the side of the pot there, that branch is wired to the side of the pot there, and there's also one over the back there as well, and that's now holding it quite sturdy in place. And the reason we want to do this is because if that blows around in the wind, as I explained earlier, the little white roots that grow off the base of the trunk, they are so fragile, they literally snap off just by touching them. So if they were starting to grow and that wobbled or blew over in the wind, it would snap all the new roots off. So you want it as stable as possible for the first few months, to let the roots, as soon as they go brown, they're sort of then attached and quite strong then, but while they're still white they snap very, very, very easily. So watered that in, it's all wired down. Now to trim off a few more branches, and what I'm looking for is basically any branches that are crossing over. So like these two, we don't want a crossing over branch. Anything that is growing straight up or straight down basically. So rather than make you guys sit there and watch me spend a couple of hours going through all this, I will snap back to you in a bizzle. Well, you can see I've been a little bit drastic, but yeah, I think it's looking alright. Fingers crossed there's enough root there to keep it alive. I have taken quite a bit of the leaves off, so that will help the roots develop more. The less obviously nutrients the tree needs to shove up the plant to feed the leaves, the more the roots will grow. So let's have a look and see what I've done. And there she is, guys. Now I'm quite happy with how that's turned out. I knew that was going to look like a real funky tree, but yeah, I really like it. So basically what I've done, I've removed, like I said, all the crossing branches, all the branches growing either straight up or straight down, and anything dead basically, and left the rest, bearing in mind that I wanted to keep the trunk sort of open so you can clearly see it. So you've got a nice open fronted trunk. This is the front that I've decided on as well. That's going to be the front of the tree. So yeah, so we're going to have a pad here, a pad at sort of that level there, one there, big one on the top. I'll allow it to sort of grow up just a tiny bit more on the top here. And again the same with this one, we have a pad here, pad here, pad here, and we'll let that thicken up and become a pad at the top as well. Now yes, I was told it's almost impossible to air layer beech, but I've done it. Fingers crossed it will survive. As I say, there's a good 4 or 5 big roots on there, so fingers crossed that'll keep growing. I've put it in the best compost mix that I've got. Again, I did a video on how to mix your own bonsai soil, so go back and check that out if you want to have a look. But yeah, the reason I've gone a bit hard on the old pruning, beech are very, very good at budding back. It's one of the main reasons you get lots of beech hedges in the UK, because the more you chop it off, the more that grows back. So yeah, I'll leave it like that for now. I'm going to find a nice shady spot for this tree to let it develop, because in full sun and with the lack of roots it's got there, I don't want it drying out. So one of the reasons I've used this flower pot is it holds a little bit of water, about a centimetre of water in the bottom, because the holes in the base are slightly higher up. Show you quickly without tipping the tree upside down. Yeah, you can see there the holes are under there, So you get like a good 1.5 centimetres of water just sitting in the bottom. The roots aren't down there. That's a bit higher up in the pot, but it will help it hold a little bit of water, just in case I can't water it every sort of 20 minutes, because it's got very, very few roots in there. So yeah, really happy with how that turned out. And just really quick guys, I just thought I'd add this in as well. Don't forget Kashi and Danny's Growing Show on the 30th of September. I'll be there with loads of bonsais for sale. It's going to be a cracking day. If you're not part of the Growing Show, check it out. I'll put the link in the description. It's going to be a great day. Plenty of bonsais. Danny's doing a drive for kids. So if you've got some toys you can bring down to give to Danny, he only wants brand new toys, but they don't have to be expensive. He's doing that for charity as well. But yeah, it's going to be a great day. So if you want to see what bonsais I've got for sale, come down, check it out. Going to be a great day. And I'll also be bringing my bonsai tools along. So if you have a tree that needs a haircut, a trim, a prune, a restyle, whatever, all my bonsai tools will be with me down at the Growing Show. So I can either talk you through what you can do, or if I've got time at the show, I'll do it for you. See you there. And on that note guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And let me know what you thought of this video down in the comment section. And if you'd like to support me in the things that I do on this channel, hit the thanks button underneath the video. And if you'd like to stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel, be it pond related or bonsai related, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. So yeah, thanks all for watching guys, and we will catch you all on the next one.